Hello everyone, this is Susie Beiler, and yes, we're still here. So, because we did have expectation of a tangible event that has not yet occurred, we are going to do another channeling to see if we can get some clarity, and hopefully we'll ask the questions that you yourself have. So as always, my intention is to be as pure and clear as possible without any of my own judgments or filters. And as always, I invite you to take this information into your own hearts for your own discernment.
We have felt a continuing amplification of energy. When is the sudden, profound energy arriving that is to transition each being?
Dear ones, you are already in transition, indeed. It is, however, not sudden, as I have previously conveyed to you. The timeline has shifted such that this will be now a more gradual transition. Yes, the waves of love and light continue to pour upon your planet. And you are now given the chance to integrate these energies in a more gradual way.
How long will this sequence of integration and energy continue until there is a tangible shift in experience?
This will be different for each one depending upon the speed of integration. For some it will be a matter of weeks. For some it will be years. The opportunities for transition are still available. However, the big wave that you were expecting based upon my previous messages has been broken down into smaller waves, if you will. The purpose of this, dear ones, is to give more souls a chance to awaken in your current paradigm. What is different now, since the equinox and since the full moon and all the celestial alignments, is that your current Earth, or Gaia, as you call her, has been raised to a new frequency to support your awakening, much like the new DNA Earth. The new DNA Earth is still in existence, however, none have transitioned there yet, as your current Gaia is experiencing her upgrades. She has chosen a different timeline. For becoming a star. I understand, dear ones, that this may all be very confusing. And I invite you to trust that all is in divine order, and to allow yourself to be in each moment and to be open to this experience as you release expectations of the other timeline.
Much intention and energy was set forth for the other timeline to remain. What has caused this to shift, as the energy set forth was very expansive?
Yes, dear ones. In fact, this timeline was in effect up until the 28th of your September, at which time there was a shift in the energies. What was observed by the hierarchy at this time was an awakening of many souls, and this was not expected. And so in light of this awakening, we decided to allow these souls to remain in this current paradigm, to master their awakening. And so this was a decision that supports soul growth. For as souls evolve, even in the density, their muscles are strengthened, if you will, thus being given the opportunity to accelerate their soul expansion.
Is there any intentions to assist in integrating this energy and having a quicker process of this transition?
Dear ones, simply holding the intention and the commitment to integrate the energies will assist and accelerate your process.
Does this wave of energy that is coming in smaller waves have its own consciousness?
In some ways, dear ones, remember the discussion we had about souls and how new souls are formed with the new collection of consciousness coming together. Although this light is coming in from many sources and many light beings, as it comes into one wave, it does have its own consciousness to some degree. And so you can work with this consciousness. Asking to merge with it, asking to understand how to integrate it.
Have any humans dematerialized at this current time?
Not at this time, dear one.
Is there anything light workers should be doing right now?
Dear ones, now is a time for the light workers to rest, as they have done much to assist the receiving of these waves of love and light. Now is the time for you to recharge your batteries, so to speak. Indeed, for some of you, as you have experienced these waves of love and light come in, you have been in your bed, mostly unable to function in the everyday world. This period of time shall soon pass, dear ones. But allow yourselves time to rest and to renew. I would like to convey information to those who have felt complete, to those who were expecting their transition. Dear ones, you who were expecting to transition were already masters. This is why you were allowed to transition and to dematerialize. And so now is the time for you to use your mastery to be in each moment, to release any disappointment or any expectation that you had. And yes, you may feel any feelings that you have about this. And I invite you to deeply feel your emotions. For you in particular, those who were going to dematerialize, you will still have this opportunity. However, in some ways there will be more work for you involved, as you will now be gaining new skills and using new tools to raise your vibration to such a state where you do not need a great wave of love and light to whisk you away, so to speak. In this way, dear ones, you shall become true masters, true ascended masters. In some ways, the wave of love and light that was going to assist you in your dematerialization limited your soul growth, inhibited you from truly becoming masters. Now you are being given the opportunity to put into practice all that you know and all that you are remembering about yourselves as masters. And so now, rather than there being a great collective of dematerialized beings, it will be at your own pace and what you desire. I invite you to take this time to rest, to rejuvenate. And in time, for those of you choosing to stay here a while longer, you shall be given renewed inspiration to assist you in joy for your journey. I realize many of you are still wondering why this sudden shift, why this change in plans. I understand this channel in particular is very concerned at an ego level of being in integrity. And perhaps she is not so happy with all these messages being changed, for she fears it reflects poorly upon her. I wish to assure you, dear ones, that all is in divine order and all is for the highest good. And while all the timelines were set in place for this great wave of love and light that I had described to you, all timelines were moving forward and holding steady. The mass awakening that was observed by the hierarchy caused us to pause and to reconsider what would be of the highest good. This is always our agenda, if we have an agenda, so to speak. It is always our agenda to move forward in the highest good. What is highest and best for most? And so this is why the plans were changed, so that we could offer this opportunity for more masters to emerge.
You mentioned tools that would assist in this transition at an individual level that would not rely on this great wave. Can you give examples of these tools?
Yes, dear ones. Most of these you already use. Breath work, eating high vibrational food, observing your thoughts and shifting so that you are in the highest vibrational thought fields. The art of allowing, releasing your resistance, letting go. These practices that have assisted you in becoming masters. There is always more of this, is there not, dear ones? And so now is the time to continue engaging in your practices. It is very likely that a tool you have previously used will no longer feel aligned for you. And so it is perfectly okay to release this and to allow something new and more aligned to come in. I wish to remind you that you are already masters in many ways. And so to invite you to remember your mastery. Remember how much you already know. Not just in this physical realm, but deep within your beings, your soul knowledge, the wisdom that flows through your hearts. Now is the time to connect with this. And I invite you, dear ones, to be at peace. For truly all is in divine order. And many of you are already feeling deep levels of peace. And for those of you who are, I invite you to focus on this as your emanations of peaceful light will assist those who are anxious, who are confused, who are not at rest in their beings. And for those of you who are not at peace, ask yourselves, what is preventing you from letting go, from allowing? See yourselves as worthy of being at peace. Know yourselves as beings worthy and deserving of deep, abiding peace.
As these tools are used in practice in maintaining higher vibrations, is the actual incident of transition at a very conscious level, or is it simply incidental at a high maintained vibration?
Beautiful question, dear one. It will now be at a more conscious level. And so those of you who were in the past timeline given the gift of dematerialization, you know what is possible. And so now you are able to use these tools and raise your frequencies very purposefully for you to create your own transition in your own timeline. I invite you to receive this message, dear one. For, dear ones, you are masters. And those of you who know ascension and specifically dematerialization is possible, you might now choose to put forth all your energies into this creation. Or you may choose to spend more time on this planet, sharing your gifts and your wisdom.
Is there any clarity Prime Creator would like to share in particular around this event and energy?
I would like to share more with you about how such decisions are made when myself and the hierarchy observes. We observe what is occurring in the hearts of each being. We observe what is occurring at the soul level in each being. We take into consideration what would allow your souls the highest growth. And then it is a discussion of sorts, a meeting of the energies, talking with Gaia, talking with all the other universes that were participating. And in this meeting of energies, we come to an agreement, so to speak, about what would be of the highest service. Dear ones, I realize it may not be easy to understand from your perspective how such a big decision could be made on your behalf. But I invite you to trust that indeed this decision was on your behalf for the highest good and growth of your souls. Keeping in mind that everything is fluid, and therefore another decision could be made at some future point. That would shift your experience yet once again.
How does this current timeline, how is this affected with the polarity and hologram that has been in existence for quite some time? How is this affected by this new timeline?
Because of the amplification of the energies of love and light that began at the equinox and that continue to pour forth onto your planet and into your beings, the hologram will slowly dissolve, as will polarity. It will not be as sudden of a shift as what was expected with the big wave of love and light. However, it is a shift, and you will see over a period of time that more and more beings are resonating to the vibration of love. You will still continue to witness polarity. But as more souls awaken, this polarity will not have strength to sustain itself, and it will eventually dissolve. And in this way, dear ones, your intentions at this time are very powerful, for as you intend to transcend polarity, to transcend the hologram, to transcend the density, you are very powerful in creating a new paradigm, in creating a new earth for yourselves, in creating a new experience. And so I invite you to use your intentions wisely and with conviction, for you hold great power at this time. This time is different from 2 weeks ago, for you now have more power if you are coming from love, if you are working for the highest good. Your power now outweighs those who were attempting control and suppression of the light. And so your thoughts, your actions, your emotion now carries more weight, now carries more influence. And so I invite you to be very judicious in your use of your power, to be mindful and conscious of how you will use your power, how you will weave the light, thank you, dear ones, for receiving this power, for using it for the highest good.
Is there anything else Prime Creator would like to share with those watching this video?
Dear ones, indeed, while the great shift has not occurred, you are still in a new paradigm of opportunity. It will be easier for you to create what you truly desire from your hearts. It will be easier to navigate this planet, for many of you have experienced deep suffering. Many of you have been blocked and halted in sharing your gifts. This time is now complete, dear ones. The slate has been cleared, so to speak, and you are now being given the opportunity to share your gifts without fear of repercussion, without fear of being blocked or stymied. Now is the time for you to rise up in your power, true power that comes from being in love and light. Now is the time for renewed inspiration. Yes, allow yourselves to rest. And when you feel ready, take on your new purpose with vigor, with conviction. And you will, and you are deeply supported. You will be, and you are deeply loved. You will have, and you have, all the resources that you need to fulfill your new missions. For yes, new missions shall be given, whether it is to complete your ascension, or whether it is to remain on this earth for a bit longer. You will be given new inspirations. New creativity shall pour forth through you. Embrace, accept, allow. And I thank you for your service. For truly the light is now taking over. And each of you have played a great part in the expansion of this light. Thank you, dear ones. Well, I have to admit that was not at all what I expected. So for me, I'm going to take some time with this information and allow the integration, and you can see my emotion. I guess there is much for me to release and to integrate. And as always, I thank you for being with us in this video, and who knows, perhaps there will be another one now that we have this new information. Much love.